Um, I'm going to keep saying this every time I do one of the live streams. Um, as I said, I'm using live streams to capture my videos because my phone's a butt and doesn't like to save my videos and let me record them properly. But I decided I would do a proper why I need a service dog update. Because there have been some things that have increased or caused more problems. And I'm going to name a few things that is a possibility of what I have, but I am not diagnosed. So, um, big things. Angel first started off as a service animal for my PTSD. Because my PTSD causes major anxiety when I'm out in public because I have that fear of somebody's going to come and attack me. She has tasks for that, where if I'm scratching, she will paw at me, get me to stop, she will redirect me. Ones that we are still working on is when I want her to start noticing people around us, and if somebody's getting too close to me, for her to get in between us, and for her to get behind me as well when there are problems. Like if there's a group of people coming up. I have slight mobility problems. Most of them are on the right side of my body, but because my left side of my body is doing its best to compensate for what my right side cannot do, it's actually causing problems everywhere. So I have chronic pain literally all over my body. Most of it goes from my mid-back down for most of the higher pain levels. And yes, there's definitely always pain in my back, which is why I prop myself up when I'm at home, when I'm laying down in bed, because I cannot sit up on my own without it hurting after 2-3 minutes. As of late, I've been getting migraines. I don't know if it's just a thing that can come and go. Don't know if that's going to be a problem in the long run. But Angel has alerted to them in the past. And she probably would have alerted me if she was in my room right now, but she's actually eating. But back with the mobility problems that I have, most of my mobility problems are caused by my pain. I cannot do everything by myself, especially when I'm on the ground. I have to get back up. I have Angel walk to my right side, and then I use her to help me get up. I try not to put my weight on her just because I don't want to put my weight on her, but sometimes I have to. I basically use her to guide me up, and as I said, my left leg is usually compensating for what my right leg cannot do. So with everything that is going on physically with my body, there could be a chance that I have to either start using smart crutches, one of those walker things with the seats that have the wheels on them, or a wheelchair. So those are 3 options of things that could happen. Other things that could happen, well, no. I have gotten a heart rate monitor for a day, and it just so happened around the time that I got the heart rate monitor, I was actually having a lot of more stressors, so I actually passed out a few times during those days. I don't normally pass out that often. At most, from what I've noticed in the past, it was once a week. In this past week, I have passed out more than 6 times. So it is seeming to be increasing. I have a shortness of breath, which ends up giving me, I get fatigued easily as well. I don't know if the shortness of breath is an anxiety thing or if it's an actual health thing. I am getting checked for that. I do have episodes of syncope and vertigo. I got blood tests. My doctor is mainly leaning toward Lyme. If I have Lyme disease, that's actually treatable, so that would be an easy fix. But one of the other options could be that I could have POTS, and there's a few other ones as well. I don't remember all of them, but my doctor, as I said, is leaning more toward she thinks I probably have Lyme. She's getting me tested again. I'm breaking out, so ignore that. But I do have major ADD and major ADHD. I have this weird thing that happens that I'm pretty sure is caused by the ADD and ADHD, that I get so distracted that I forget exactly what I'm doing, where I am, and why I'm there type thing. Or I'm really bad at locating vehicles after I park them. I'm forgetful about that. So Angel is there to basically help me regain my focus. I do have weird sensory issues. At the same time that I'm sensitive to sound, but not overly sensitive to sound. Like, I just perk at sounds. Shiny things always catch my attention. And I have this big thing of fuzzy. If it's not fuzzy, I don't like it. So, like this blanket, I'm obsessed with this not so much because it's annoying to me. It feels rough. I don't like the rough feeling. This feels rough as well, but I'm thinking about attaching a fuzzy liner to it or something. But that's basically everything that's been coming up as of late. I have, as I said, I've been getting winded easily. I've been getting winded just lying down and talking. So, and with the mobility and pain problems, like my hand being up like this, actually my wrist now hurts. So, I have a billion one stuffed animals, but I did want to bring up this. Yes, I have a service animal. Yes, these are the needs that caused me to have a service animal. But I want to have a positive outlook in all this, and I'm also a little misprepared. So, with all these problems, there is a chance that I could end up in the hospital for any one of them. So, I have made a list on Amazon of all the things that I want, or would want, if I were to be in the hospital. Now, there's one thing that I definitely want because of the fact that I do have small breathing issues where I get winded, and have trouble breathing around certain things. The smell of marijuana around causes a problem with my breathing. I learned this because in my state there is medical marijuana around, and people who have their med cards, they have smoked around me, and I've always had trouble breathing because of it. I have had an allergic reaction because of it as well. So now everyone that does know me and has a med card, they have told me that they will either wait until after I leave, or they will right before I get there have their medication. And I've suggested that if they need it within that time, like, I'm also really sensitive to fragrances. I smell perfume and I have trouble breathing. I'm going to go in for an allergy test soon, but I want to end up getting a bog mask to help with that. And if you guys look, you guys can go find all these bright, happy colors of anything. Like, oop, I didn't mean to do that. Let's not look at the rest of my room. There you go. I think even though I might need, like, let's say I do have to have a wheelchair, I would be the person who would go out and I would get a bunch of different types of pretty duct tape. I would go buy a wheelchair that I can manually use on my own, but I would cover everything with glittery, happy looking duct tape. Yes, that is considered kind of like a redneck fix or something like that, but I would be the person to do that. Even in the bad moments, on my bad days, I'm able to have good moments. Because I have my girl. She can be a dork and be a derp. Like yesterday, I was having a really bad day, just like I am today, and I was downstairs. I was in a pissy mood, and she just came up to me, jumped up. She knows she's not supposed to jump, so she brought herself back down, and then she got all derpy and made me laugh. Oh, another thing that forgot about. I have this weird thing with eating. I get yelled at by some of my friends for not eating. I have problems with that. I actually forget to eat a lot. And then when I do eat, I always get nauseous after a few bites. So that's another thing I forgot to bring up to my doctor last time. So I get to bring that up with her next. So yeah. But I do want to let you guys know that I'm even with all my problems, I try to find a positive thing. Like positivity will make everything better in my eyes, even though I do have these problems. If I take more positive aspect and try to not let things affect me as much, then like the less type of stressors I have, the better. Especially when it comes to my syncope. Because I will pass out less, because you can pass out more because of stressors. Like I said in my last video that there are people bullying me online because of my disabilities. And those are more stressors, but I've gotten to the point that I'm just like, okay, you're just a douchebag. So, if anybody has any ideas of how, like I wanted to do a bunch of positive things, if I could afford it, I would make a P.O. box for me and Angel. So then if you guys wanted to send posters of positivity, that'd be fine. I would love that. I love things of positivity.